Awesome. Yeah, congratulations. Just want to connect with you. Yeah, 685 is a fairly decent score. So just wanted to
Yeah,
understand, what worked for you on the exam, how the questions, your whole journey so far.
it was my fourth attempt, and
Hmm.
I had given attempts like 3 years back previously. Taken coaching
Okay.
also from some other institute, but that didn't work for me. And
Okay.
I think I've written you a text on that as well, that how I had to unlearn everything and start fresh. And I followed your approach only from application to error log to concept, timing, and then mocks, and diligently. And with the less number of questions, I could go. I finished quant section in 25 minutes. I was also surprised. I got still one question wrong in quant. Rest all were correct. Verbal, I had never been able to score above 28 or 30 in the previous
Hmm.
GMAT. But this time, verbal was great. I think it was 82. I only got like 5 questions wrong, and none of the questions were wrong in RC, which was
Cool.
a great one.
Pull up your score report to see verbal you scored 85, 96th
85.
percentile.
Yeah,
Okay. And so you got five questions wrong here.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. One would be from RC probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, almost everything right in RC. And I know like RC could be one of the biggest bottlenecks when you're preparing for
Yeah,
verbal.
I did active reading,
Hmm.
and I spent more of the time in reading rather than going to the question. So I understood the passage well. In every other topic, if something was getting wrong, go back, practice 30 questions as you have told. I didn't do anything differently. Best part was just revising the errors. Why I made those
Yeah.
errors, that made me, that helped a lot.
That's amazing.
I knew like I was getting good numbers in mocks, so I just in the last week I was just revising my error logs, what mistakes I have done, whatever in mocks also where the mistakes were happening. So I knew like I recognized certain patterns. That sixth or seventh question I was getting every time wrong, okay, in the
Hmm.
mocks, because I knew like first 6 questions you get right and the seventh question is really tough. So what I did in
Hmm.
my exam also, I just when I got into the sixth or seventh question, I read the question and I knew it that I'm gonna get stuck on this. 5 minutes are
Hmm.
going to go on this. I'm not able to
Hmm.
think this. So I just with the like 20-second read, I just marked the answer as skip. And then when I came back and I had like around like 10 minutes and I got that question right in 5 minutes. So
Wow.
those were the strategies. In the multi-source reasoning part also, I got multi-source right. I was really proud of that.
So difficult to let go of a question, especially
Yeah,
if you haven't really built that muscle. Theoretically, anybody can say that, okay, you got to skip a question after 20, 30 seconds, but it really
yeah.
requires a lot of practice to get into that rhythm where you take those strategic decisions to skip a question after 20, 30 seconds, where you know that something is not, you're not able to actually even formulate an approach. Just tells me that you were very strategic about the exam right from the very first step. And overall, I know like verbal is typically the biggest pain point that most people have. So, and you also struggled with it. Reading comprehension, you obviously were able to improve it to the point where you got almost everything right.
In all three attempts that I failed, I got like 560, 590, 630, 640 ऐसे करके कुछ आते. But I knew that I was failing because I'm stuck in that one question and I'm not able to let go.
DI is a new section, and people have these kinds of apprehensions whether they'll be able to
Hmm.
actually ace it or not. Although there's enough practice in the content also, but doing targeted practice always helps to formulate the right
Yeah,
strategy for a different
yeah, yeah.
question. And in MSR, the fact that you did that apartment question right, I think that itself
Mhm.
speaks that you actually were focusing more on the approach aspect, not just the solutions thing. You haven't really come across too many people who've been able to sincerely apply it the way you have. And the fact you did not work on timing as much and you focused on approach and accuracy, that itself would have given you a very strong start when it came to mocks.
So I didn't work on
Makes
timing
sense.
as well. I was in LSATs also, like you said that you were solving like 6 passages in 3 hours. I think and then
Hmm.
you improved to like solving 15 to 20 passages in 3 hours. So I was
Yeah.
then I was like satisfied. Some benchmark and not
Hmm.
losing out, because if you don't have a benchmark, like if someone has not shared their experience with you,
Hmm.
so you don't know if you're lagging behind or you're going behind. So I think I'll
Yeah.
trust the process, and I'll solve LSATs.
I'm honestly extremely happy about the fact that everything that you executed actually was embedded to the point where you did not have to think about it, right? So
Yeah.
that's amazing, because on the exam, if you have to force yourself to think about something, things might not really work out as well. But in your case, it came to you naturally, especially the fact that you focused on CR patterns. I think that's amazing. And RC, again, something that's a huge bottleneck for people, getting it to almost 100% accuracy is, again, commendable. So congratulations once again, Aditya. Extremely
Yeah.
happy with your performance. Anything that you would suggest to those people so that they can also cut short that learning curve and get the exam done within a short span of time?
One main thing is that you don't have to rush to solve as many questions as you want. This was my previous approach, that I was rushing. I will solve 500 questions. I will solve 1,000 questions.
Do feel free to keep in touch, Aditya. Anytime you have any questions
Yeah.
or concerns.